measure the depth of a rivalry? How do you quantify football hatred? Here's how. You measure it by the faces, by the anguish, by the joy. You measure it by the lines drawn in the turf, the taunting, the tackles. You measure it by Florida State versus Miami. Nearly 500 miles separate the campuses, but nothing separates their contempt for one another. That spear pierces the ground. It marks its territory. The Seminoles dare you to beat them. That smoke, that swagger, that practiced indifference is Miami personified. These two teams are bonded together by decades of history, by wide rights, by wide left, by a conga line of the very best who played the game, by the very best who coached the game. For more than 20 years, it was the rivalry that other rivalries wanted to be when they grew up. It had gravitas. How do you measure a rivalry? You go to Canes versus the Noles.
Fresh off a facelift, Hard Rock Stadium is energized. A sense here of relief after a tense week in Florida, and now release with this big rivalry game. Welcome to ESPN Saturday Night Football on ABC, and this presentation of the ACC on ESPN. Miami 4-0 against a suspect schedule in Mark Richt's first year. Favorites tonight against number 23 Florida State. Hurricane Matthew dominating the headlines, and after devastating Haiti and the Bahamas, missed Miami by 115 miles, skirted the Florida coast. The most severe damage in this state came up north near Jacksonville, and of course continued to torment those in Georgia and South Carolina. Our thoughts certainly with everyone affected everywhere by Hurricane Matthew. And there is a sense of relief in the stadium tonight, and certainly many players from this state relieved to be thinking about football, believe that their families are all okay. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, Samantha Ponder will join us. We've had the pleasure of calling the last few of these, but I think the backdrop has shifted. Don't you feel it? Yeah. From Miami, no more moral victories. That won't cut it anymore. They are desperate to end this 6-game skid against the Seminoles.
Yeah, Mark Richt comes in as the head coach. He's created some excitement. One thing he's very fortunate to have is he inherited Brad Kaaya, a 3-year starting quarterback, and I think it's really given him a chance to feel comfortable on how they attack defenses, and he's had some success. I think the experience that Kaaya brings has been a big key. But Chris, look at the arm strength here. From the left hash last week against Georgia Tech, throws an absolute rope here, almost 40 yards for a big completion. Here's the experience. Recognizing coverage. He sees it's cover 3. He knows between the corner and the safety, he's able to hit that crease, and is able to do that to give his receiver a chance. They run a lot of the RPOs, the run pass options. Here the linebacker gets out of position. He finds Stacy Coley, and there's a big gain. So, as you said, this will be a different challenge and a different test because of the athletes from Florida State. But let's not forget, the Noles have struggled this year on defense, giving up a lot of big plays, a lot of blown assignments, something that Kaaya and the Canes are going to try to capitalize on.
Yeah, it's a run-first offense, isn't it? He's got good support of a running game, and that Noles defense has been shredded. 44 points a game allowed the last 3. So can Dalvin Cook, back in his hometown, provide enough points for the Noles to win this game?
Well, early in the year, and you and I had him a couple times, everybody wondered what's wrong with Dalvin Cook. Why isn't Dalvin Cook going? Well, he has the last few weeks, but I really like what Jimbo Fisher has done with him. He's faced, look at this, a lot of 8- and 9-man fronts. Now here is success. This is Jimbo Fisher. This is what he wants to do, but it's hard to run into a 9-man front, so he's made adjustments. A little flare pass to get him to the outside, picks up some blocks from receivers and tight ends. Just another way to get number 4 the ball with some room to work with. Here, a little slip screen. You're going to cover him, take away the run. We'll throw the ball to him, give him some blockers downfield, and you can see what he can do after the catch with his ability to run. So unique little wrinkles against teams before Miami. It will continue tonight. If Miami's determined with their young defense to take away the run, look for Jimbo Fisher to, again, come up with different ways to try to get Dalvin Cook the ball, because let's face it, the last 2 years he's faced his home team, he's taken care of the Canes.
Yeah, he's had the game-winning touchdown each of the last 2 seasons. Well, Miami has a narrow lead in this series history, but Florida State has won the last 6. If they win tonight, that will equal the longest winning streak head-to-head. Let's go down to Samantha Ponder with Mark Richt.
Coach, you've been a part of this on both sides. You've played, you've coached. You saw things getting a little chippy out there. How would you describe what makes this game so different?
Oh, I just think everybody knows each other too good. That's probably the biggest thing. And it's, you know, state pride. A lot of history as well.
Coach, when it comes to your defense, you've got some young guys, specifically at linebacker, up against the offense you're up against tonight. How have you prepared them for that type of challenge, and where do you see the most opportunity for success?
Well, they were here when spring started, so they've been here and heard it as long as anybody else, so I think they're ready. Thank you.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Coach.
Jimbo Fisher's never lost to Miami. That 6-0 record, a winning streak beginning when he took over as the head coach in Tallahassee. But his team is 3-2, Kirk. They've been blasted by Louisville. Heartbreaking loss to Carolina last week. He has been searching and trying to find the emotional buttons to push to get them to respond.
How fortunate for him after this sluggish start that they're playing Miami, in Miami, because that should get his team ready to go. If that can't get him ready to go, then I don't know what can.
Knowles won the toss deferred, so Logan Tyler will boot it away for the Seminoles, and we'll see Brad Kaaya and that Canes offense. And it's a deep kickoff. Kaaya's from Southern California. He first became aware of the Canes when they played that Rose Bowl game in blasted Nebraska, and here he is a few years later.
Yeah, we talked about him in the open, the experience, and really kind of a prototypical drop-back quarterback, 6'4", 215 pounds. Poise and leadership will be big. The run-pass options, his decision-making. They're going to have to take some deep shots. Teams have had success taking shots. There'll be opportunities. He's got some fleet-footed wide receivers and tight ends. And when Kaaya gets his chance to go downfield, he's going to have to capitalize. You see last year, over 400 yards passing against the Noles.
That was with no running game to speak of. This Noles defense has been sleepwalking through opening series. Only Charleston Southern has not scored a touchdown in their opening possession against Florida State. 4 to 5 games. That's staggering. They think it's a Walton. Immediate pressure and a sack as Kaaya is swung down by Jacob Pugh, a linebacker.
One of the adjustments from Charles Kelly. 1st and 10, they're expecting run, so early they set the edge with a blitz from number 16. Jacob Pugh does a nice job. Miami tries to catch him off guard with play action on 1st and 10, but man coverage on the outside and the blitz that time from the Noles defense.
As a QB, that'll get you into the game. He was slammed down hard in the opening play. On 2nd and 15, they flip it out far side. This is one of the tight ends, David Njoku. The Canes have 3 talented tight ends, all of whom can catch passes. We'll see a lot of them tonight.
They are NFL-looking tight ends. At the size that they have, both of them about 6'4", 250 pounds, and can run. Njoku really came in more as a wide receiver. Hearn did more of your traditional tight end, but you'll see a lot of 2 tight end looks.
Need 11 yards on 3rd down. 3rd down was a nightmare a year ago for this team.
Pass protection, not the strength of this offensive line. He's going to have to get the ball out.
Knowles rush 4 from the pocket. It's flipped short. Catch made, but dragged down immediately is Mark Walton. Matthew Thomas, the backer in coverage, and the Canes go 3 and out.
Part of the problem for Florida State in a few of their games has been miscommunication. Is it zone? Is it man? If the first series is any indication with Charles Kelly, it's you've got him and you've got him, and we're going to attack the line of scrimmage. An offense that wants to run the ball, and if they throw, we're coming after the quarterback, but we're playing man. Everybody got it? Man coverage on the back end. They were locked in that series.
Yeah, much better start, wasn't it? Much better focus. Justin Vogel is back to punt. Bobo Wilson is deep. Vogel gets a hold of this one. Booming kick, driving Wilson way back to the 7. And the Canes trying to pen him in. He gets back to the 20-yard line. Terrific punt by Vogel. And DeAndre Francois, the freshman quarterback, will begin from the 20-yard line.
DeAndre Francois, the redshirt freshman, impressive-looking quarterback. Has great poise and toughness. He's been tested already this year. Have to use his feet, especially on 3rd down where Miami comes after you. And they also are going to have to take opportunities where they like to get the ball thrown downfield, and Miami will play man. And when you play man-to-man, you better hold up on islands because DeAndre Francois has an arm and he can get it thrown downfield.
fed early, breaks a tackle and stumbles forward across the 40. Nice gain of 6 on first down. The Chick-fil-A impact players tonight, Kirk.
That, of course, starts with Dalvin Cook for the Florida State offense. When he gets going, it sets everything else up. Travis Rudolph needs a big night tonight, being able to give them balance. Look forward to seeing these freshman linebackers, Shaq Quarterman, number 55 in the middle, and Corn Elder, a corner who will be, as we talked about earlier, he's going to be isolated quite a bit tonight on Travis Rudolph. Will have to play well.
You saw Quarterman. Incredible that they have 3 true freshmen starting at linebacker.
You don't see that. And one is rare, let alone 3.
Francois empty backfield on 2nd and 4. Flips it near side. Izzo battling back, makes the catch. And the spot is right near the first down to the 45-yard line.
It's interesting that you bring that up with the 3 true freshmen, and they have not really been tested against the passing team. If you look at their schedule in their first 4 games, they just have not been tested. So these 3 young men are going to see a very, very different look tonight from Francois and the Noles.
3rd and short. Francois sneaks it and muscles easily for the first down. They want these guys to play fast and aggressive, but Kirk, I mean, we're going to see freshmen make mistakes in a game like this, aren't we?
The challenge you have as a young linebacker is you're so amped up in a rivalry game. You've grown up thinking about this opportunity, and now it's right in front of you, and you see number 4 about 15 or 20 feet away from you. You are locked in to stop him. What they have to be careful of tonight is being too aggressive, because that's when the play action pass can hurt them from behind.
Cook. The heavy traffic and gets to midfield. Dalvin Cook mentioned growing up here in Miami, his good buddy Joe Yearby, a running back for the Hurricanes, and just an extra sense of inspiration. He's good enough against anybody, but when he gets against the Canes, you can see it in his performance how much he feels it.
You see the total yards, especially last year. A lot of that coming in the 4th quarter, Chris. And if you add all that up, it's almost 11 yards a rush in these 2 years. Think about that. Every time you touch the ball, you're carrying 11 yards.
The 2nd down handoff. Cook accelerates. Will be stopped again just short of the marker by Jaquan Johnson. Again, 3rd and short.
See the communication on the road. It's the best way you see it all over college football. It's a young freshman himself, Landon Dickerson, tapping the center, Everly, to let him know that we're all set. Everybody has the call. Let's snap the ball. It's a very loud environment tonight.
It's an offensive coordinator's dream. 3rd and short, and again, a quarterback sneak for Francois.
I think a good matchup, kind of a game within a game, will be the Canes defensive line. You know, they have switched with Manny Diaz as their new defensive coordinator from a 3-4, which they've had for the last 5 years with Al Golden, to now the traditional Miami 4-3. He brought that back, and they've got some young players up front with a lot of talent. I think the matchup up front should favor Miami.
Canes crowd the line. Francois back on first down and takes the short gain, a cushion over there to Kermit Whitfield.
One of the great things about Jimbo Fisher is his innovative offensive approach. He gives you, here it is, he's going to go tempo. So many different looks with formations and personnel groupings. It really challenges the communication of the defense.
Kermit Whitfield's in the backfield. Francois rolls out and tries to outrun a defensive lineman. Takes a big shot. Coming up there was Pat Bechtel. He was chasing.
They've got a lot of depth up there and tremendous speed. Great job of being able to bring him down at the end. Just kept him just a bit short. And there's Quarterman, the freshman linebacker, to clean it up. Remember, a couple 3rd and shorts, and they've had the sneak. This is a little bit longer. They're going to have to either get the ball to Dalvin Cook or get him on the edge.
Cook not going to get there. Instant penetration by Kendrick Norton, a big 305-pound sophomore. And then Rashawn Jenkins, the safety, cleaned it up.
Just talked about the matchup and how it could favor the Canes. Look at the separation. He just pushes Everly right back into the backfield. Great anticipation there by Kendrick Norton, expecting the ball to be handed deep into the backfield by Cook. He gets the separation and eventually gets into the backfield and blows that play up.
Fisher's going to go for it. He took a loss on that play, so it's third and about 3.5. Only their third attempt on fourth down this season. 2 for 2 last week. Francois batted down to the line of scrimmage, and the Canes defense makes a stand and will take over as Demetrius Jackson came off the end to break it up.
Manny Diaz rolls the dice on a big fourth down here early. Dalvin Cook wide open out in the flat. If he gets the ball over Jackson, not only do they pick up the first down, but the ball gets to Cook. He's maybe down the sideline for a touchdown, but the Canes get the stop.
2-3 and outs for Miami to start this game. Third possession here. They haven't called a running play yet. Kaaya flips it again, and that's Njoku, the big tight end, who's a tough matchup. But Mark Richt is calling the plays. We'll check with him in a second. But Samantha's on the Florida State sideline. What do you see different down there from the defense?
Chris, it's shockingly different on the sideline. Just incredibly communicative, demonstrative. I mean, this is a team that we barely saw communicate at all on the sideline in that game against Ole Miss and Louisville. I don't know what's gotten into them. I don't know if they had a come-to-Jesus moment this week. But the coaches are having a hard time, Charles Kelly, getting to the players because they're talking to each other so much. And the one guy that's kind of leading the charge, even though it is somewhat of a collective effort, is Derwin James. Of course, the guy that can't even play, but is really assuming that leadership role.
Canes need a yard on second down. And finally, it's a running play, and this is Yearby, who moves into FSU territory, and they will move the sticks for the first time.
You touched on something that I don't know if a lot of fans know, other than Miami fans, that Mark Richt decided to take this job. One of the first things he decided to do was roll up his sleeves and become the play caller again. Hasn't done it since like the 06 season when he was at Georgia.
And Yearby gets loose. And Dalvin Cook's high school teammate spins to the 35. He's never called him from the field, which he says for him is a lot tougher than the press box view.
I just love the fact that I think he's re-energized by taking this job, but he says he's coaching the quarterbacks, he's game planning, he's looking at film. He's no longer that CEO type of head coach.
You flip it out in the flat. This is Herndon, the tight end, who gets a block and is spun down aggressively on the far sideline. Miami crowd wanted a flag on Trey Marshall. Didn't get one.
And Mark Richt dialing up some tempo right now. You know, he had Mike Bobo there and a lot of success, and he kind of trusted his play callers. He kind of backed up and just kind of managed things. Now he is calling this game.
Yearby busts forward, and Rick told us, like everybody knows, that the Florida State's defense is bothered by tempo, and the Canes showing some of it here.
This is the first time we've really gotten a taste and a feel for it. They're mixing up the run with the throw, and when you have a veteran quarterback, you can do that. The tempo is what has caused Charles Kelly the miscommunication and the issues in the back end.
2nd and 5. Yearby tries to bounce it. Good penetration, and he's knocked for a loss there.
A great play there by the Knowles defense. They're moving a bunch of different guys into this lineup right now. See them being able to get off the blocks. There's Lane coming in there to make a play.
We're rolling in guys we have not seen much of this year. Lane getting a chance to make plays. And now it's 3rd and 6.
Comes to man-to-man pressure.
Kaaya from the pocket, loops it in the end zone and over the head of Njoku. 4th down coming up, and he took a hit after the throw again.
Yeah, Matthew Thomas got to him. They actually delay the blitz. There's a couple different blitzers right here. Here's Westbrook, who's going to come from here, and you're going to see a late delay that ends up actually getting home. Brad Kaaya's going to wait and wait as long as he can, but Thomas, the linebacker, with great instincts, and I think he felt that. He's able to knock him down and affected that pass.
Michael Badgley from 37 yards. Very reliable junior kicker. And he knocks it right through. So Miami draws first blood late first quarter, 3-0. There's a lot of flavor down here. telling you, this is good to see this rivalry back and these two uniforms together on the field. 8-play, 39-yard field goal drive. They feed Dalvin Cook his 6th carry already, and the workhorse stopped after a short gain by Demetrius Jackson.
It gave him an option there at the line of scrimmage to run left or run right. 8, almost 9 men up at the line of scrimmage. Again, we talked about that in the open, how challenging that's been for Cook to deal with at times. He tries to look at the numbers and go to the right, but the Canes, with that speed, doing a very, very nice job of taking away the cutback lanes and pursuing the football.
Just 3.5 per carry so far for Dalvin. Final minute of the first quarter. From the pocket, Francois takes a shot but delivers a strike for a first down to Travis Rudolph, the junior. He had to stand in there and deliver, Kirk, with a man right in his mug.
That was an unbelievable effort. The pressure comes from the outside into the inside. Patchen actually gets to him, but the matchup on the outside right now, the watch, is Travis Rudolph, the junior, going up against Cornelder one-on-one. Great focus that time by Francois. Puts the ball right where his man can make a play on it.
Be the final play of the opening quarter. Just get it off, and Francois rolling, wanted to take a downfield shot, and now just fires it into the bench. Kendrick Norton knocked him down, and Francois lost his helmet, is very slow to get up. No flag, but a message delivered. He's proven his toughness already this season. He's going to have to show it again tonight. 3-0, a first quarter dominated by defense. That was really close to a personal foul. Didn't call it. Back after this message. A word from your local ABC station. And Sean McGuire is in the game for his first action this season. A senior from New Jersey who filled in for a suspended Jameis Winston, a home field win over Clemson a couple years ago. Flips it short and behind Bobo Wilson, who does make the catch. And again, not been in there even in mop-up duty this season, but he's been preparing for this moment, hoping he's ready.
As a senior, the fact he's kept his mouth shut by getting beat out by a freshman has gained the respect that much more from his teammates. When he comes into the game, they believe in him. They put him in tough situations as a backup on Thursday's practices. His teammates believe in him. Now he's got to go out based on that preparation, as you said, as a starter, and go out and deliver. Third down is tough.
Imagine this is your first live action of the year in a very loud environment. Collects the snap, feels the pressure, and will not escape. They come right after McGuire, and Gerald Willis and Joe Jackson, two backups combining there.
Well, he wanted to go to the right with the football, but the problem he has here is two of his receivers end up running into each other off to the right here. He's looking to the right. Look out here. Two receivers run into each other, making it very tough to be able to execute, and all he can do is eat it. But again, Miami bringing the pressure and getting after the Knowles offensive line. Smart. Smart.
And all of them appear to be quick and fired up and athletic.
Right.
Tyler, they come after him. They bump him. There is a flag. And it was 4th and 14, so unless this is a personal foul, it won't be a first down. It appeared to be a little bit of a gentle bump, but the flag did come out. Backs away. And Kirk, that tent is getting crowded in there. Francois was being looked at. We're told that McGuire went into the tent as well after that series. Uh-oh. That's a good sign. But Kaaya taking over after the game's first turnover. It's Yearby, the back in the I formation. They feed it to him. And Joe Yearby is hammered, met right at the line of scrimmage by Ame. And Wally drives him back.
They're rotating a lot of bodies, just like what we've seen. You see him in the backdrop, 94. Boy, he just does a good job of being able to get off the potential block by Casey McDermott. Uses that athletic ability. And Chris, you talked about Miami rotating a lot of bodies, seeing the same thing from Florida State. I think they feel that same humidity that we feel, and it could be the battle of the fittest here by the time we get to the fourth quarter.
Man, it is sweltering down there, isn't it? Not a breath of wind in this stadium. Kaaya on a slant. Complete. And that's the freshman, Amon Richards. Big potential for this guy. Very quick learner, and they think he's going to be a star.
And Tavares McFadden, who's been picked on at times this year, he can't give away the inside. Make the young freshman go to the outside. That time too easy for Kaaya.
And now Kaaya delivers to Coley near side. Stutter step. Lowers the shoulder near midfield. Another first down.
And the play before McFadden gave away the quick slant. That time with a soft cushion. Another easy throw. This is where the experience and the vision of Brad Kaaya can come into play. They're going at a breakneck speed here, but he's staying very, very calm on how he's trying to pick apart the Noles secondary.
Yerby cuts it back in a quick burst. Yerby spinning for 11 yards, and the Canes with tempo moving the ball again.
Boy, how about the vision here? This play looks like it's going to go off to the right. Yerby puts his foot in the ground right there and is able to feel that and cut back. Nice job of reading that and feeling the defense overflowing.
Not much room. A quick cut, and Yerby dancing for a short gain. They get just inside field goal range for Badgley, who's an excellent kicker, but they're thinking 7 here.
Charles Kelly and the Noles defense has to be saying, okay, we've seen this from Ole Miss. We've seen this from Lamar Jackson in Louisville. We saw this last week from Mitch Trubisky in North Carolina. Now you'll see the adjustments from the Noles to see if they're ready for this up-tempo.
Kaaya on another slant. Berrios had his hands on it, broken up nicely by Marquez White, who's done a steady job at corner.
Yeah, and I can't tell if White got his hand on the ball or if it just went off the face mask there of Berrios. And just right off the hands. Ball is perfectly thrown out in front of the receiver. He just drops it. Again, able to beat the Florida State defense to the inside. Much easier throw for the quarterback, Brad Kaaya, on those quick slants and posts.
They need 8 on third down. Noles rush 4. Kaaya retreats. It's a screen look. Flips it up to Walton, who's got a convoy of blockers. Walton busts into the secondary. Cuts it back. Brought down near the 10. You could see it coming, but it was hard to stop.
I think Nate Andrews, you got to give him credit for trying to be out there, but watch 29 trying to stay up with this to try to make a play. He's playing with one arm out there trying to defend the play. He's out of the lineup now.
First and 15. 3 receivers to the left for Kaaya. They throw it, and the catch is made, but it's a loss. Hammered immediately as Richards. And Tavares McFadden is he's had a rough last few games. Been a nice play there.
Yeah, but he recognized with the 3 receivers there that 2 of them were going to block, and he reacted so quickly. The Miami wide receivers had no chance to block him. That was great reaction. And you're right, we've been tough on McFadden at times because he's had some struggles. But that gives you an indication of his potential and athletic ability. 6'2", about 198 pounds, very long, highly touted, big-time recruit. He's just still kind of feeling his way. That time he made a quick read.
5-yard penalty, 4-yard loss, so it's 2nd and 19. They got to get to the 2 for a first down. Kaaya in traffic. Walton had it knocked away. It was a risky throw because there were Seminoles all over the place. It'll be 3rd and long.
They're trying to hide Walton with a little slip screen, trying to get those linebackers to think that Walton is actually blocking and try to get them involved in the pass rush. But even if he was able to hold on to this, as you said, Chris, there are a boatload of defenders there. Not only Hoskins, but this defensive lineman felt that play as well.
DeMarcus Christmas thought he maybe had a gift there.
No doubt. That would have been it. Yeah, I got you.
3rd and 19.
That would have been an interesting run there with that gift if he caught it.
It's Kaaya got him 3rd and very long. Again, got to get to the 2. It's a shot for the end zone. This is Coley. Grabs it. No signal. Out of bounds. Incomplete. Terrific throw. Taylor, the freshman, covering the veteran who couldn't get his feet down.
Boy, this is going to be an interesting look. The left leg looked like it may have been down. Watch his left foot as he catches the ball. Is it down? That's the one question.
Ruling on the field of an incomplete pass is under review.
The right foot clearly
out of bounds. Out. Yeah. I was just, this will be an interesting look. The left foot. Let's see when it stop it. That's a touchdown.
Dave Katara is a rules expert, Dave. They're taking a look at this. Joe Ryder is the replay official.
Good comment by Herbie, because it looks to me like he gets possession of the ball right here. Watch the foot. There's the ball. There's the foot. This is going to be a touchdown, in my opinion.
The crowd thinks so. The Canes bench thinks so.
At the review, the receiver's left foot was in bounds when the ball was possessed. Touchdown.
A tremendous throw by Kaaya. A 21-yard acrobatic catch by Coley, the senior, his 5th of the season, and the Canes a point away from a double-digit lead.
It was spectacular on both ends. Third down throw by Brad Kaaya. And Stacy Coley, a guy who has been through a lot in his career at Miami, wants to put it all together his senior year. Heck of an effort to extend and keep that foot down and come up with a touchdown.
And Badgley makes it 72 consecutive points after touchdown. A third 19 touchdown.
How about the effort? A great throw. Brad Kaaya was in rhythm. That's a big thing for him. He gets back. He feels comfortable. And right now he is in command of this offense. Puts the ball where only Coley can make the play. And the Canes are up 10.
Miami hoping for a breakthrough win. Up by 10. They've been here before, though, a couple of years ago here. Let's go to Samantha Ponder for the latest on Francois' condition.
Yep, Chris, he's coming back in here. No doubt he is nowhere near 100% dealing with that right shoulder injury. I saw him in warm-ups. He actually had a long time to warm up because of how long that drive lasted. And he looked pretty good in terms of velocity, but the grimace on his face, his body language, it is clear he is playing in a lot of pain. Assistant coaches went up to the offensive line right before he ran out right there and said, take care of your quarterback. They know what's at stake here.
And Sammy, it's interesting. It's his throwing shoulder to keep an eye on, and also he's athletic. He's had success tonight running the football. Does that element go away from how they attack this defense from Miami?
Again, Canes showing pressure. Francois gets it away, batted in the air, and almost intercepted. It's incomplete. In coverage there, that was Rayshawn Jenkins who got his hand on the ball.
Well, watch the linebackers again. They are not slowing down. It's the freshman again, Shaq Quarterman. They say he's kind of an alpha for a freshman, and Kareem R, just no chance to slow him down. Florida State very fortunate that that ball was not intercepted. Great reaction by Rayshawn Jenkins to get his hands on that ball and knock it up into the air.
That was big old Gerald Willis, the defensive lineman, that took a dive at it. And the stretch play to Cook. And the Canes string it out. He does well to fight back to the line of scrimmage.
That's how you set the edge. They've heard all week. Watch the cutback with Dalvin Cook. His vision. Take away all the gaps. Look at this. They set the edge. They get penetration again by Norton. Great effort there by Johnson, who is held, but he keeps contained. He forces Cook back to the inside where there's 7 or 8 orange jerseys running to that football.
And they rotate fresh bodies into that defensive line for this 3rd and 10.
Well, this defense is playing with confidence right now.
They come after Francois again, gets good protection and delivers downfield, making a nice recovery to knock the ball away as Elders had a big first half.
I love Manny Diaz's approach tonight. They've been blitzing and playing man all night. Now they get him to 3rd down. He drops the zone. Watch Corn Elder. He is playing in the flat, but he sinks. And watch the effort here. He's just reading the eyes, does a good job of extending and knocking that away.
How good was that?
Playing zone, reading the eyes, and the athletic ability. One of the most underrated corners in the country this year, Corn Elder.
That was a full layout. Get back to that ball. Wow. Logan Tyler's been busy. Barrios watches it sail over his head and into the end zone. So Brad Kaaya off that terrific touchdown throw in the last series. Back to work. Miami up 10-0. Running game hasn't really busted loose so far. It's been Kaaya, efficient and effective throwing, and now breaking loose. This is the freshman Amon Richards. Sidesteps a man, still going into FSU territory. There's a wily play there.
He's able to make the play, but watch number 7, who's moved over. This is the first time he's played defense, Ramon Lane. He's going to the middle. He looks confused. So once the ball is caught here by Richards, there's nobody there because Ramon Lane, who's kind of just feeling his way right now, moving over from receiver to defensive back.
That's 1st and 10 after the 2 penalties, and Kaaya from the pocket again. Looks downfield for Coley again. One-on-one coverage and a diving attempt off his hands.
Now Kyle Myers, a true freshman, left out there on an island. And much like Levante Taylor, who's a true freshman for Florida State, they have confidence. They'll leave him out there one-on-one. Actually, pretty good coverage there.
Terrific play.
Yeah.
How about that? Miami's best and fastest receiver. The progressive pylon cam showing you the play that was made by Kyle Myers. Canes are playing fast. And there's a short gain. They throw to Njoku. We're seeing guys we haven't seen a lot this year because of the intensity of this game, the tempo, the humidity perhaps. Coaches are trusting a lot of guys. Responsibility tonight.
Yeah, you have to. And at this point in the season, you've worked and worked and worked, and now it's a matter of trying to get out there in games and see what you can do. It's a pivotal 3rd down.
And they hand it off. Walton trying to drag tacklers. Terrific effort, but he's 2 yards short of a 1st down. Matthew Thomas stopped him. And here comes the kicker. Michael Badgley will come out. Wonder if Rick thought about it for a second.
Yeah, I was surprised that Jimbo Fisher wouldn't call a timeout. 3 remaining, just to save himself and his offense a little bit of time.
So Badgley, after the timeout, from 51 to make it a 13-point lead. Drives it low and knocks it through. That cleared the crossbar by 20 feet.
I mean, he's got to have one of the strongest legs in the country. You mentioned the 57-yarder he's made earlier in his career against Georgia Tech, but I was watching him in warm-ups, kicking him from 57, and they were going halfway up.
Yeah, look at this one. Look how high up in the crossbar this was. Noles deferred, so they'll get the ball to begin the 2nd half, and we've been here before, haven't we, Kirk? The Noles in a deficit, trying to create a spark before halftime, trying to create some momentum. It certainly happened in the comeback win in Orlando against Ole Miss. Badgley pumped up after the field goal, drives the ball out of the end zone. And good protection. Whitfield has been the weapon down the middle. Terrific catch. Beat Jenkins, and they're in Miami territory.
There's no reason to panic here. The ball's already across midfield. Like I said, Florida State, they work really, really hard on this throughout the year, especially on Thursday during game week. And they go good against good.
28 yards for the birthday boy, Kermit Whitfield, his 5th catch tonight. Now Francois chased, gets away, and even on a bad shoulder, he's rumbling into the secondary, slides down inside the 30, 53 seconds left.
That's a great job, despite the injured shoulder, recognizing the man-to-man coverage underneath. Nobody there to account for the quarterback. He has all that grass, and he picks up significant yards for Florida State.
27 seconds, 2 timeouts. Noles nearing the red zone as Francois takes a huge shot, delivers incomplete in the end zone. Flying in was Jenkins on the blitz. Francois slow getting up.
They disguised this and came very, very late. Jenkins is hidden right back here, and this is a long way to come from for the senior, and it cleans up. Dalvin Cook doesn't pick him up. I think he was surprised by how far back Jenkins came. Boy, we have seen this young quarterback take some vicious shots in the first 5 weeks.
Talking about a running start. He ran like 20 yards to get there. 21 seconds now. They feed Cook, who's got a crease.
There's a timeout right there.
They'll spend a timeout. That was a good tackle by Jaquan Johnson, who had the pick earlier, because it looked like Cook had a line to the end zone. 3rd and 3. Francois from the pocket for the end zone, just overthrown as Wilson went slamming into the wall. No chance to make a play. It's 4th down.
Yeah, the ball is thrown late, and Adrian Colbert does a good job of forcing Bobo Wilson to the inside. He wanted to try to run the route to the outside, but that's what he's saying. You're late. You got to make that decision quicker and maybe even come off of Bobo Wilson and try to find somebody else.
So Ricky Aguayo, who's 6 for 6 in his young career inside of 40, but he missed 3 last week against Carolina from 45, 52, and 45. Got plenty of calls this week of support from his big brother, the All-American Roberto. This one, 31. And he does slide it through. So a 62-yard drive in 8 plays when 1:06. The Noles on the board finally. Noles will get the ball to start the second half, but it's 13-3. Miami up 10 at the break.
Coach, obviously your quarterback playing hurt right now, taking some shots, playing through pain. Is he limited at all, though, from a play calling perspective?
No, he's not. Right now they say he's good to go. That's why I wanted to get him a feel. I wanted to play it early. I didn't want to do anything, but he's free now. He will open it up, and he can do things. He moved the ball well that last drive and threw it well. And first drive, we missed a 4th down. They tipped it. We had a chance for a big one, and we had a critical turnover down here and flipped the game and got them back. But, 13-3, we got the ball coming out. We move the ball. Defense is playing a very solid game. They've had a couple plays, but we got to help them on offense. If we can get things going right here, it'll be a good ball game.
Appreciate your time. Thanks, Coach.
Brad Kaaya and the Canes, a 10-point cushion at halftime, trying to end a 6-year skid against their rivals. But we've seen this before, a 23-7 lead here 2 years ago. They had the lead late at Tallahassee, Kirk, last year. Couldn't finish either time. So the big question among all these fans in orange tonight, can they finish tonight? Or are we going to see more Seminole resilience?
Well, I think that's what's interesting about this situation. You have Miami saying, hey, guys, new year, new era with Mark Richt, different outcome. And you're Florida State, and you can almost hear Jimbo Fisher saying, guys, do your job. We're not out of this. Let's get back into this. We're getting the ball to start this second half. We're going to go down and score. We're right back in this thing, and it's a one-possession game. So both coaches are saying the right things and trying to push the right buttons. Long way to go in this football game with still 30 minutes to go.
DeAndre Francois fighting through some severe shoulder pain. That right throwing shoulder, he was slammed down hard in this game. McGuire came in and spelled him through a crucial interception in the first half. Francois got a whole bunch of treatment and is back out there hoping that Dalvin Cook can spark this second half comeback.
He has got to be the most battle-tested quarterback so far in the country. I don't think anybody's been hit as much as Francois.
Whitfield. A flag comes out as he's knocked down at the 27. A couple of flags. Cook navigating through traffic, picks up 5. McFadden was the Seminole who got flagged for pass interference that set up that game-winning 54-yard field goal by North Carolina. So he felt awful about it at the end of that game, but a big play tonight.
He's had a couple big plays tonight. So now it's over to Francois and the Noles offense. And if you haven't seen this game tonight, the Canes don't feel threatened in the vertical passing game, so they are taking away the running game. They're putting every effort to try to make Francois in the passing game prove that they can beat them.
On 2nd and 5 after the timeout, they flip it near side. Wilson fighting out near the 30. It'll be about a yard short of the first down.
It's a good effort by Wilson. Miami defense really flying to the ball. Keep in mind, Miami has rotated from the very first couple series. A lot of bodies on that defensive line. Trying to stay fresh. We'll see if it pays off for them as we get in deeper into this second half, into the fourth quarter on a hot, humid night. That could help them. You see more bodies running in and out of this game.
You're right. Manny Diaz has really trusted his depth. That includes plenty of young, inexperienced players.
Expect Francois on the sneak here. Remember that right shoulder.
2 tight ends and a fullback in the game as Cook powers for a first down across the 30.
We did see Dalvin Cook get out on a big run for 54 yards where he had to break a tackle to do that, but it's been, other than that, pretty quiet night.
First down carry for Cook, who spins free and now is brought down. Excellent job by Jamal Carter, the safety, to make the tackle.
This defense lost 4 starters from their secondary. Adrian Colbert plays. We've seen Jenkins around quite a few years. Jamal Carter's kind of a hammer back there. He did a nice job there. You have Corn Elder back there as well. They lost all their linebackers, playing 3 true freshmen. But boy, they are trusting what they see and not hesitant at all, especially defending Dalvin Cook in the run.
Showing pressure off the edge on 2nd and 7. They bring it. Cook picks it up, and now Francois delivers on the far side. Rudolph tiptoes just enough for the first down out across the 40.
Yeah, the blitz came from Shaq Quarterman. He's going to come from right here and come around. He's just a little bit late, but Francois has a tendency to do this. He waits until the last second to give his receiver a chance, and that time Rudolph just settled down right where he needed to. The soft spot in that zone off to the left there to pick up that first down.
How gutsy is that to wait that long, knowing that your right shoulder's already been hammered, playing through some pain?
Yep.
2 tight ends. They fake it to Cook, and now Francois finally will take a shot downfield, and Cook is wide open. Dalvin running free. Touchdown. Flag is down. They may have roughed Francois, but Dalvin Cook, the hometown guy, strikes again against the Canes. 59 yards. And Francois, without his helmet, is still sitting on the field.
Passer, defense, number 31. 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the succeeding kickoff. Touchdown.
Well, what a call. And there's the toughness again from Francois to hang in there. Makes the throw and gives Dalvin Cook a chance to get down that sideline on that rail route. Nobody picked him up.
Dalvin's only got 2 touchdown receptions in his career. Both have come against the Canes, and that was enormous. Hard to believe they forgot about number 4. And the shot on Francois afterward was ugly. Back in the tent to be checked out again by the medical staff, as Aguayo tries to cut the lead to 3.
Well, when you're aggressive with your linebackers, it can catch up to you. Here they're trying to blitz a linebacker. He's actually responsible for Dalvin Cook in man coverage. Watch him right here. He falls down. Dalvin Cook's just going to go right down the sideline, and because they're in man coverage, nobody is there to pick him up. The patience from Francois to let the play develop, giving Cook time to be able to get down the sideline, but after he made that throw, he got drilled by Demetrius Jackson.
Yeah, this is very late. You're right. It's a sandwich shot.
Yeah. Jackson from behind. Another defensive lineman. Helmets off.
That is way too late.
How many times have we seen Francois with that look? I mean, look at that.
It's the second time that his helmet's come off. The other one wasn't flagged, but Norton knocked him down in the first half. He was checking the sidelines. He was looking over there to see what they wanted to signal, and now he will pooch it, but pretty deep. And Berrios inside the 5 is still alive and brought down at the 13. Kaaya, meanwhile, he threw the pick last time, tries to get it to Dobar, the tight end, and it's off his hands. Francois, part of the Showtime program chronicling their season, got into his dorm room. These are his goals, are on the ceiling of his room. He wakes up every morning, uses his cell phone flashlight to check out the goals. Retire mom, take care of his family. Academics, very important. He's got a 3.2 GPA. You saw some trophies over there on the left side as well. There's a second down, a handoff to Yearby. In a short game. It's going to be 3rd and long now.
I thought what was cool is he's getting up so early to get ready for school and football that the room is dark. And he said every morning to give him motivation, while the room is dark, he takes his cell phone with that light and he flashes it up to that ceiling and he looks at those goals just in case he wasn't feeling motivated or he was a little bit tired. He looks at those goals and it gets him out of bed and it gets him ready to go.
So the Noles defense, a chance to get the ball back to Francois. Kaaya facing 3rd and 8. No hands on the ground for the Noles. They use this look against Miami, trying to confuse the quarterback. It worked last year effectively, and there's an incompletion.
Yeah, rush 3, dropped 8, but they still had an open receiver. That was just a case of the quarterback and his receiver just not quite being on the same page. It looked to me like Stacy Coley was actually running where he wanted to go underneath. And I think Brad Kaaya was expecting him to just settle to the outside, but he had an opportunity there for the first down, but the miscommunication cost the Canes.
Local to punt, and Naquan Murray, the sophomore, is now back to receive this. And he'll make the fair catch. You feel like an uneasy mood in this place all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Canes were up 10. It was a party in here. Yeah.
Been there, done that kind of feeling.
Yeah. Noles back to work, down just 3. Izzo in motion, 2 tight end look from the I formation. They fake it to Cook, and Francois rolls out, takes a shot, delivers, and it's catch is made. Maven Saunders, the tight end, is Francois again favoring that right shoulder.
And a gutsy call where you know that the defense is going to come after you. He's going to drag across. Look at the pressure. Does a good job. He gets hit again, and a heck of a throw and a big time catch there. Look at that beautiful shot there to see Saunders go into the air to make that play.
Rangy, athletic tight end out of the Bahamas. He's still learning football, but he's improved as a blocker. He's earned his playing time this year. Big completion, and now Cook tries to bounce it and cannot quite get the edge. Sean Jenkins did well to get out there.
Yeah, Cartel Jenkins did a good job of blowing that play up at the beginning. He got into the backfield, beat Kareem R, and forced Dalvin Cook to bounce that to the outside.
2nd and 8. Empty backfield. Good protection. Dumped off to the tight end Izzo, who stretches and fights. It'll be just short of a first down. Quarterman held on for dear life.
Yeah, he did. And Roderick Johnson was assigned to try to make the block there on Quarterman, who's had a big night. Again, the true freshman. Doing a good job in the middle of that defense, but not a bad call there to give the Noles a chance here on now, again, another 3rd down and short.
They've had a lot tonight. 6 for 12, mostly because they've been in this range or shorter. Brings some pressure. It's picked up, and another strike is delivered. That's Auden Tate, who fights for a first down near the 20. Another 3rd down completion.
A great job against man-to-man. You have great size here, great length. Easy to throw to Tate. It's 6'5". It's a matchup advantage there against Redwine, who's much smaller at 6'1". But that is a great job of recognizing the matchup there by Francois, putting the ball right on the money.
Play action, flipped over short. Whitfield makes a man miss and scoots into the end zone, and the Seminoles take the lead. How about that? Block on the edge from Rudolph Kirk, and we see that Florida State resilience again. '60-yard drive, 7 plays in 3:34, and the Noles lead for the first time tonight. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Chris, this is all DeAndre Francois, their own version of a run-pass option. This is a play that's designed to run here. In fact, you'll see the center getting downfield to make a block. But what he sees is this, a blitz from the safety, Johnson. Because of that blitz, he knows that he's got these 3 receivers against only 2 defenders. He aborts the run, gets it to the outside to Whitfield, and there's the 2 blocks by his wide receivers. Again, almost as a seasoned veteran, DeAndre Francois reading the coverage, recognizing the blitz from Johnson and the getting the ball out to the very fleet-footed Kermit. Whitfield has had a big night tonight for these receivers. That's 7 receptions, 83 yards, and that touchdown right there.
Celebration of his birthday tonight with a touchdown. And it's a 17-point run. And the Canes are down for the first time this year. Only a couple of teams had not faced a deficit in 2016. How about this guy, Kirk? 8 straight completions and an incredible show of toughness.
And they're just still trying to keep that shoulder, trying to keep it loose. Derwin James coming over to show him his gratitude and appreciation. This kid just continues to grow up every single rep, every single time he's out on that field.
Walton again gets around the edge. Walton in the clear. Flag comes down as Walton scoots toward the end zone. Still on his feet. Tremendous effort to reach the end zone. This may come back, though. Even if it does, that is a spectacular run by the sophomore from here in Miami. It will come back. Holding penalty.
Holding. Offense. Number 78. 10-yard penalty. First down.
The shame of it for Miami is it's the right tackle, Tyree St. Louis, who really didn't have anything to do with the play. He gets caught up with Derek Nottie over here. Right there, he locks up with them. But they do a great job of getting to the outside of Dontavius Jackson, a freshman linebacker.
And the end of the run is special.
Oh, it is. 78 right there in the middle of your screen. Had nothing to do with the play, but that gives you an idea what Walton could do.
This is crazy. He gets grabbed with the jersey. Somehow his helmet touches the ground. His hand goes down.
That's a shame.
He gets in.
If that counts, that's one of the runs of the year.
It sure is. The progressive pylon can give you its point of view as Walton comes steaming right towards you. That is incredible balance to stay alive. But instead of that, it's 1st and 20.
We don't have to count that because of the penalty, but we can mentally count that and appreciate that, right?
You're being dispelling. That was incredible. Have you seen a guy like touch his hand and the top of his head on the ground and somehow stay alive? This is Yearby, another running play. So interesting approach and a murmur among the crowd here.
Well, Derek Nottie's checking out of the game, but, you know, he's been dealing with an ankle. They said he had a dominant camp. They expected huge things from him, like a Timmy Jernigan type of year, but he's been nicked up. Tonight, you can see what they're talking about. He's healthier, he's been very active, and he is getting off of blocks and making his presence felt there in the interior of that defense.
Other guys fighting through some pain. In his case, it's the ankle.
So they're just, look at him stalking here. He's kind of walking around here on 3rd and long.
They rush 3. Kaaya still pressured, delivers a throw again. Boy, this is the 2nd year in a row when the Noles take that approach. Kaaya just doesn't seem comfortable.
No, and that's the whole point. Charles Kelly said this week he's a rhythmic passer. Our jobs as a defense is to get him to be able to feel us. We don't have to sack him. Make him feel us. Let's affect him. Let's make him move off of his spot. Make him move a little to the left, a little bit to the right. They feel they can affect that rhythm, and we've seen that now the last few series. He just looks a little bit out of sorts right now with his receivers.
So the holding penalty on St. Louis takes away the touchdown, and now Vogel punts it away, and a fair catch is made back at the 11. Francois protected, delivers across the middle, catch made on a huge hit deliver, but holding on to the ball was Bobo Wilson.
I don't know what was more impressive, the fact that Francois squeezed this into such a tight window, or the catch by Bobo Wilson to be able to hold on to this knowing that was coming into him. That's a great job. He knows right now that a safety is going to drill him when he makes that catch, but the concentration before Corn Elder got to him, heck of a job of executing there by Florida State on 2nd and long.
Francois, as Elder heads to the sidelines, continues his strong play. 15 minutes to play. The Noles trying for a 7th straight win over the Hurricanes, lead it by 4. cross-divisional game between these two rivals. Here's DeMarcus Walker.
After all the turmoil and the struggle that this team has been through, if I'm a Florida State fan, that's what I love to see right there. The leadership from a defensive player coming out into the timeout to talk to those linemen.
That'd be a great night without what he's gone
Right.
through. And they hand it, and here comes a flag. It's Patrick. They grabbed his face mask, and it'll be another penalty on the Canes.
It's like Moton, 95.
Again, close to midfield.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 95, 15-yard penalty, first down.
So the ball for 42, and after again fighting off the ropes, 13 zip down. The Noles now a chance to stretch the lead and really put some pressure on this Miami offense. It's a good thing the Canes have some depth at defensive line.
You notice when Francois in this passing game takes off, how it's all of a sudden opened up better running lanes, because those linebackers and safeties are concerned about that.
Not much there. This is when the Miami defense, who has to dig deep, as you said. This is the first time they've been challenged. They've been romping, rolling past people, playing on the lead. The backups have been in there by this point of the game.
That's the exciting part of this, is to kind of see if this is going to be a different Miami team where they can handle adversity and kind of fight through it. Somebody step up and be the guy.
Second and 9. Francois keeps it. They dump it short. And Wilson gets a block, cuts it back, fights out of bounds near the marker at the 33. It'll be another third and very short here.
Yeah, you have linemen downfield. Chris, you have linemen downfield blocking, but the good thing is he catches the ball behind the line of scrimmage, so it doesn't matter. That was the key, the throw there, keeping him behind the line and not taking him downfield. Dalvin Cook is your guy. I mean, he's the guy you like to turn to in these tough situations because of how physical he can be. Even if they get penetration, he has an ability to run through tackles. And because of the shoulder to Francois, you almost wonder if the sneak, which they did a lot of earlier, is even an option for Jimbo.
Yeah, you'd want to take a shot on that shoulder again. Cook picks his way for a first down and almost broke it. Just holding on was Redwine, but the Noles do move the sticks.
Watch the left guard, 72, Kareem R. He's going to follow him on the power play. Nice job of the right side of the offensive line, collapsing down a very physical Canes defensive line. Opens it up and picks up an easy first down.
Cook gets the toss again. He's got blockers in front, picks his way, and now steps out of bounds. But another terrific first down gain to set up this series. And Dalvin now 23 touches, 21 rushes. Not quite the 222 that he had last year against Miami, but there's still time. And of course, the big play of the 59-yard touchdown when he was left alone.
Remember, those last 2 years, he's had his big moments in the fourth quarter, so still plenty of time.
Yeah, he was a freshman 2 years ago, came in with fresh legs and delivered the game-winning touchdown run. The Miami defense holding to a field goal attempt here. Cook, kind of a deep handoff, some hesitation there. Very short game, but again, third and very short.
And a heck of a job by Gerald Willis, who went out of a game with an injury, is back in the lineup now. Does a great job there of fighting through there with his quickness and getting penetration. And because of that, they held him short of the first down.
You need a little bit less than 2 yards on this one. Man, these two teams are just slugging away now. Another physical test. There's no mystery. It's Cook, but he doesn't get there this time. They're shooting the gap was Darian Owens, the reserve linebacker. It's 4th down.
That's exactly right, Chris. Good eye. Darian Owens does a nice job here. Nobody picks him up. He doesn't hesitate. He's going to shoot that gap from the backside to be able to negate this play. And also, how about the defensive line there, holding the point of attack there and not giving in an inch? That is a big series for the Miami defense. As tired as they may have been on that 12-play drive, to score this field goal.
That's a great point. That was the 12th play of the drive. They dig in and force Aguayo's 32-yard field goal. They'll take that, though, because it's still a one-score game. Exactly. Boy, nice to see these two rivals pushing each other, forcing each other to dig real deep. Field goal by Aguayo makes it a 20-0 run for Florida State. But the Canes still within 7. 9:02 to play here in this muggy night in Miami. And Kaaya and that offense going to have to rediscover the rhythm, the mojo they had early in this game. Noles defense has recovered nicely.
Kaaya's going to have to get this going. It's been a tough second half for the Canes offense, and especially Kaaya throwing the football.
Kaaya on 3rd down delivers to Coley, who has been the key guy. Clutch catch at the 45 as he beat the freshman Taylor.
Chris, you're going to see man-to-man across the board here. The receiver will come in from the outside. Look at the top. All the man-to-man coverage. That's a gutsy throw from a guy who's been 3 of 9 in the second half.
This is Walton. And they continue to test the middle without much success. Dontavius Jackson, the freshman linebacker, on the stop.
The Noles and Charles Kelly are saying we're going to leave our corners on an island. We're not intimidated. We're not afraid of that vertical passing game, even though you've hit a couple. They put everybody at the line of scrimmage based on the formation and the down and distance. They read the tendencies, they assumed run, and they guessed right for the loss. Remember, Kaaya had that big 4th quarter last year throwing the ball.
On 2nd and 11 in the pocket. He's dropped. That was Derek Nottie who got him. It'll be 3rd and very long.
Nottie gets him, but an assist goes to DeMarco Walker, who forces him to step up in the pocket. Watch at the top. 44 forces him to step up. Nottie just dominates the inside. We just got done talking about what a force he's been now that he's healthy.
3rd and 17. If they don't convert here, maybe just one more chance to get back into this thing. Kaaya stepped up, sack on back-to-back plays. That was Josh Sweat, the Buck linebacker.
Remember Josh Sweat when he was questionable for the Louisville game? You take him out of this pass rush, it's a significant loss. Charles Kelly is fired up, and I don't blame him. Here he is right here, just using his speed. Does a good job of getting around him. You can see he's not quite 100%, but still quick enough to get around Trevor Darling there.
Only 2 sacks allowed by Miami in those 4 easy wins, but 3 tonight. Those guys in orange up front getting whipped lately. And Vogel's punt fair caught at the 15-yard line by Wilson. So 5:48 to play, and the Noles sitting on a 7-point lead.
What I want to see here is Jimbo Fisher, that 7-point lead. How does he attack this Miami defense? Because the Canes defense needs to make a play to get their offense a short field.
And the debris delay. Francois is grabbed high and wrestled down for a loss by Chad Thomas.
Well, the first time we've called Chad Thomas's name tonight. Does a great job of getting around because of his quickness. Keep in mind, 265 pounds. The left guard, Kareem R., who came around, he was surprised. He came around, and boy, number 9 went right around him with that quickness, reading that play as well as he did. Another good stop on 1st and 10 for the Canes.
Cook into heavy traffic, battles hard to get back to the initial line of scrimmage. Quarterman and Thomas combining that time.
That play call from Jimbo Fisher, keep in mind the confidence that he has to have, maybe for the first time this year, in his defense and the way they played here in this second half. I think it's impacting on how he's calling this right now, especially deep in his own territory.
That's a great point. Does he throw the ball here or just feed number four?
I think you give Francois a chance. You got to trust him. But if it's not there, you throw it away or check it down to Cook.
Pressure. Throws off the back foot and just fires it into the bench. It was Thomas again making his presence felt, and it's 4th down. Miami's defense makes a stand.
By the way, Chad Thomas. I was wondering if he got outside of the tackle box.
Offense. Lost it down at the spot of the foul. 4th down.
After consulting, you're right, they call an intentional grounding, which will move it back, and still 4th down.
Again, for the fans, when you throw it away, you've got to get outside of the tackle box. And does he get outside? That's kind of the area that he's in, inside that pocket. He's inside the pocket, and now he throws it up here. There's nobody up there. The receiver's cutting to the inside. There's nobody up there. But if he doesn't get outside of that tackle box where he can throw it away, as long as it goes beyond the line of scrimmage.
Do they come after it here? Got to set the return up.
Great field position with the return.
Gets away a kick, and Berrios, no fair catch, cuts it back. Braxton Berrios, FSU territory, and cut down inside the 20. Finally, a special teams play as Berrios hit a crease and accelerated. The touchdown is saved at the end.
Great job here. Watch the freshman Richards. He does not block in the back. He kind of pulled back. They set up a wall off to the left, and he just set those blocks up perfectly.
How about the fact that Logan Tyler, the punter, got a hand out there and saved the touchdown, Kirk?
That was the only thing.
43-yard return.
And a very low punt, which I think helped set up that return. And now here comes Brad Kaaya with a chance to possibly tie the game for Miami. Remember, it's been a rough second half for Kaaya. Look at the numbers in the first half versus what he's done here in the second half. But great field position.
From the 16, it's Walton. Cuts it back. Knocked down hard after about a 5-yard gain.
Is it Dora leading the way there? It's tough sometimes to get wide against the speed and athletic ability from this Florida State defense. You can see Sweat coming in as well to clean that play up, but a good gain of 4.
No rushing touchdowns for Miami tonight. Walton again barrels forward. He'll be knocked down 2 yards short of the first down by Pugh. 3rd down.
Well, you got to love this. Mark Richt, first-year head coach, school that he played, back from being so successful at Georgia in the SEC. Crunch time in his first Miami-Florida State game as a head coach of the Canes, and it's coming down to this.
Walton, nothing. Stuff right there by DeMarcus Walker, who came around the edge. Interesting call.
Yeah, your stud's got to take over when the game's on the line, and that's what just happened with DeMarco Walker and Derek Nottie. Completely not fearing the quarterback run at all. They were completely locked in on the running back time. That time, Mark Walton.
Yeah, the timing wasn't good. He bobbled the shotgun snap. 4th and 5. Here it comes. Last gasp, perhaps, for the Canes. Kaaya for the end zone. Coley, touchdown! A 4th down touchdown, and Michael Badgley, who's made 72 consecutive PATs, must deliver one more to tie the game with 1:38 to play. What a throw by Kaaya on 4th down. It's blocked. It's no good. The Knolls block the PAT, and Badgley's streak ends at 72 in a row. Nobody's been more automatic making PATs in college football than Michael Badgley.
Watch the hold. Little bit of maybe affects the rhythm there, but no question. And it's DeMarcus Walker gets his hand on it and knocks that ball away. Talking about one of the best kickers in the country. How about the leader, Walker, making plays down the stretch? Penetrates right there, puts the hand up and knocks that away. Unbelievable. And just when it looked like Miami, with the throw there on 4th down, was going to tie this football game.
You're talking about, well, let's take the touchdown
watch
first.
The touch. Great coverage, by the way, by McFadden. I mean, he is stride for stride. The only thing he doesn't do is locate the ball there at the end. Perfect throw by Kaaya. Always, he and Coley just seem to always be in sync. That is a gutsy play to potentially tie the game, and they missed the extra point.
Would you kick it deep?
I'd kick the onside kick and trust that the defense can get a stop on 3 straight plays. And
we'll take a chance on the onside kick here.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of a funky formation.
Going deep.
Knowles
expecting the onside kick.
Yeah, he was chased back to his 2-yard line. And the Canes get down there, cover it very well. So the Knowles have to operate from inside their 15. 1:33. Miami with all 3 timeouts.
But you got to, obviously, you can't give Florida State a first down.
Cook takes the toss and gets nothing. Met immediately right there by Michael Pinckney. And they do spend a timeout.
All right, same thing. Florida State's thinking, let's get the 1 first down. And the Canes are thinking, we got to stop them again and use that 2nd timeout. Interesting.
Play action. All kinds of room for Francois, who doesn't really want to get out of bounds. Falls down. It's a first down.
That is all Jimbo Fisher. Great call. Everybody expecting run. Everybody thinking, let's stop 3 straight runs. Use the timeouts, get the ball back. But instead, they boot. Run him to the outside, keep him in bounds, pick up the first down. Now you work the clock.
Rick not calling the timeout here, so they don't have to snap it till about 40 seconds.
No, they're going to elect to hold on to these timeouts till after this first down. That was a gutsy call and a great call by Jimbo Fisher.
Francois snapped it about 5 seconds before he had to. Cook around the edge. May not matter. Dalvin Cook, another first down at the 35-yard line. And now Miami is going to have to spend a timeout here.
This says a lot about the Florida State resiliency. Everything that they have been through this year. Some tough losses. Most recently last week on a last-second field goal at home against North Carolina. They get down early in this game, and they just keep plugging away, and that young quarterback just kept making plays, and the defense kept making plays.
Final timeout for Miami right at 40 seconds. Now they lose on the kick of the life by Nick Weiler of Carolina, 54-yarder. Now you win on a block PAT, something that has been absolutely automatic for Badgley. Shot of Badgley there, and the final kneel down by Francois is going to be a 3rd loss by a total of 10 points in the last 3 years, and they had leads in the second half of all of them. And this Florida State team is going to improve to 4-2. They get their first conference win. Keep slim hopes alive for the division title. They got to beat Clemson in a couple of weeks at home. Hope the Tigers lose another game. Hope Louisville loses a game. But for now, forget all that. It's Francois, and a testament to toughness. And Fisher still perfect against Miami. And DeMarcus Walker expects him to rush the passer, to tackle the ball carrier, but comes up with that big high reach and a block PAT to preserve the victory. Cook rushes for 150 yards. And we go back to Sam with Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah, Coach, you just said wow. How would you describe what you just experienced?
Florida State, Miami. That's what it is. It's always been that way. Always will be that way. They got a great ball club. Our kids fought, scratched, and clawed and played a great ball game. We had mistakes, but that's a Florida State-Miami game. It's great competition and heck of a game.
Speaking of competitors, the guy standing right next to you right now, your quarterback, as a freshman, to get banged up the way he did, take the shots he did, what can you say about his performance tonight, especially in the second? I'm
very proud of him. I'm going to say this. When your quarterback's not tough, your team's not tough. When your quarterback's tough, you got a tough team. He leads them the right way. He's doing the right things, and he's growing. I'm very proud of him tonight.
Last thing for you before I talk to DeAndre. Coach, there was so much conversation about your defense and what was going wrong and should you make a change and all that kind of discussion. What can you say about what your defense did tonight?
Charles Kelly and that defense did one heck of a job. Our kids battled, scratched, and clawed. Even when they tied it up, didn't quit, and went and got a blocked PAT. I mean, that's 2 weeks in a row they've done that in that situation. So there's a lot of, we got things to fix, there's no doubt. But our kids love us. They believe in what's going on, and we're going to get better.
Thanks, Coach.
It always comes down to the end, to emotion, and Dalvin Cook in his hometown able to walk off a winner for the third time against the Canes as DeMarcus Walker blocks the PAT, prevents overtime, and preserves the victory. Tonight's game produced by Bill Bunnell, directed by Derek Mobley. For our entire crew, we bid you adieu and invite you to join us next Saturday night. Ohio State and Wisconsin in Camp Randall. That one should be a lot of fun, too. 10 down for the 4 wrap-up show. Let's go to Cassidy Hubbard. Knowles win it by 1.